Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and today is day 12 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and celebrating myself. I'm trying to remember what I'm doing. I'm so stuck on my 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on today. I wish I was focusing on today. I like that better than celebrating myself. So I don't want to do this anymore. I do this every time I do my sets of videos. I get to I don't want to do things, or I'm just having a bad day and I'm just like, nope, don't want to do it. But God keeps putting ideas into my head as to what I'm celebrating today. So I'm just being lazy and I don't want to sit up to make my video because I totally could. But just laying on my couch being lazy. Anyway, so today I am celebrating that I have a high tolerance for pain. I know that's kind of a random thing to celebrate, but I'm celebrating it anyway because I can tolerate a lot of things. And not always physical pain, but I can also tolerate like emotional pain and other things like that. Sometimes I think I just numb things out and I don't feel them at all. Or I feel them, but I can still function and do stuff and do whatever I need to do. So when I have migraines, sometimes I can work through them. In fact, a lot of times when I have a migraine, to me, it's more debilitating when I get like the dizzy spells and I can't move kind of a thing. But I don't consider them to be painful. I've had a few that were really painful, but for the most part, I don't consider them to be painful. Whereas some people talk about how horribly painful migraines are, and I was like, no, I just don't like that they make me sick to my stomach and they make me feel kind of dizzy, and it's kind of blurs my vision occasionally, which migraines will do that. But I don't really feel in pain. I just can't move or do things. So I mean, I know there is some pain to it, I'm sure, but I just have a high tolerance for pain. When I go to get my teeth done, like cavities or crowns or whatever replaced, I don't let them numb me because I can't stand the numbing and the needles. And yeah, there's a little bit of pain associated with it, but I'm like, yeah, a couple little, oh, that hurts, whatever. Cool there. Okay, I'm done. About as painful as the needle they're shooting in me, and I don't have to deal with all the after effects of the numbing. So, my dentist said he tried to do that one time. He's like, I can't do it. He's like, I don't know how you do it, but I can't do it. I'm like, okay. And I guess I've just kind of been thinking about that because, I was injured a few weeks ago, and I am not really sure what is going on with my leg and that injury. Um, it kind of occasionally like aches a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be healing. So I'm like, I need to figure out what the heck is going on with it. But I think it more or less itches. I think the itching means that it's healing. I hope it means it's healing, except that it looks like it's getting worse instead of better. So I don't think it is, which is weird. But it doesn't like hurt, like horribly hurt. I'm not like crying. I'm like dying in pain. Even when I fell and I hurt myself, I'm like, oh, ow, this hurts, this hurts. I just can't walk on it. I just can't bend my toes, whatever. But I wasn't crying. I don't think I ever cried because it didn't hurt bad enough for me to cry. It might have hurt bad enough for somebody else to cry. But anyway, and my leg is what really hurts, and my foot and my toes are finally feeling better. And I'm like, yay, I can bend my toes and they don't hurt, and my foot feels better, but my leg is still really hurting. So somewhere in the back of my head, I'm like, well, if it was really broken, because I never had my leg x-rayed, so I have no idea. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can't walk on a broken leg. That would be really funny if I've been walking around on a broken leg for 4 weeks. I don't think that I have been, but I have a high tolerance for pain. It allows me, but I'm grateful that I can celebrate having a high tolerance for pain. It's something, I inherited from my biological mom. She had a high tolerance for pain. But sometimes it does allow me to avoid doing certain things or putting off things that probably should have been taken care of a lot sooner. Like, for instance, my crown that needs to be replaced. And since I can't afford to replace it, I'm just putting it off because I can tolerate it. The nerve's not necessarily exposed. But it did break in such a way that was kind of cutting my tongue. So I found my old retainers, which is probably why I'm doing this video on high tolerance for pain, because my dentist told me I didn't have to wear them anymore. So I haven't worn them for like years. So it's hurting my teeth to have them in there. But if I bite down just right or hold it just right, like, one, you can't tell that I'm wearing my retainer unless I'm talking or sound like I'm talking funny. It might sound like I'm talking funny. I'm not used to having this in my mouth. But it's only the bottom one, so I know you can't really see it. It's like the Invisalign Invisalign kind of things. So, but it covers all of my teeth, which is what I wanted to do because I wanted to protect the tooth that has the broken crown so that it doesn't break any further until I can get it replaced, and hopefully it doesn't expose the nerve because that actually kind of hurts. And I say kind of hurt because it only actually hurts when there's like cold water or air on it when it's exposed, which I don't think it's currently exposed because it doesn't actually hurt right now. But like I said, it's broken in such a way that when I'm chewing food, it kind of was cutting my tongue, which is why I'm like, okay, I need to put something on my tooth. So I put my old retainers in, which make my teeth hurt because they didn't stay, obviously, in the position where my retainers were. But I can still eat, I can still function, I can still do things in spite of the fact that that it hurts. In fact, for the most part, unless I'm like initially putting it in or taking it out to eat food, it doesn't really hurt. Like maybe a dull ache, but it's really easy for me to ignore or forget that it's even there until I go to do something with it. So I'm very grateful that I have a high tolerance for pain. And I'm grateful that it's something that could just pop into my head for me to celebrate when I'm having one of those days where I just don't even want to get out of bed or do anything. But I can still find something about myself that I love, that I'm grateful for, and that I can celebrate. So I think it's just God reminding me that I am lovable, that I have lots of gifts, that I have lots of talents, I have lots of things to be grateful for in spite of all of my old emotions, depression, whatever things that I'm dealing with in my life. There's always something that I can be grateful for, something that's a gift that has helped me at random times throughout my life to be able to deal with things, to move through things, to continue to go forward and to heal. So, you know, when they tell you have to like walk on a sprained ankle or something, I'm like, I can do that. Or do physical therapy, something that hurts and you have to use it anyway. I can do that because I have a high tolerance for pain. But it also means that if I'm crying, it really hurts. And it's been a long time since I've cried because something really hurts. So I did do that. Probably like a year or so ago. I was having issues with my wrist and I saw my chiropractor and he like did some kind of adjustment to it, and I think it like pulled all of the scar tissue in my wrist, and I was just like screaming at her so bad. And my poor friend, she's like never heard me cry in pain before. She'd been my roommate. I've known her for like over 10 years. It's my little park friend. And she was there with me and she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, oh my gosh. And then she took me to her acupuncturist and he was like, okay, do not let the chiropractor adjust your wrist again. It's like got all of this scar tissue in there and that just like tears all the scar tissue and it just makes it worse. I was like, don't do that. I'm like, deal, not doing that anymore. And even when my wrist acts up or it hurts, I'm like, okay, it makes it hard for me to hold stuff in my hand, which is annoying, but I can just put on a wrist brace or something or just, you know, move it around. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm good. I don't let it, I mean, when it does the whole numbing thing and I can't hold on to stuff because it obviously hurts bad enough where the nerve is just like, we're done, and I can't grip things. It's really annoying to me, but also not very painful, not to the point of like crying in pain because I am blessed to have a high tolerance for pain. So I know not everyone has a high tolerance for pain. I know some people, they feel everything and it's horrible. And I'm just like, and what's funny is I'm so afraid of pain and I'm so afraid of getting hurt. And I think recognizing that I have a high tolerance for pain, even when it comes to like emotional pain, because I've been hurt so many times and it's like, I don't want to get hurt because I don't like how it feels, but at the same time, it's not as bad as I make it out to be. Just like a lot of other things in my life are not as bad as I make them out to be because I know how to deal with it. And because I do have a high tolerance for pain, it doesn't hurt me as badly. And I know that I can walk away from it. I know that I can heal from it. And I know that it will be okay. And so it's just funny that I don't think anybody really likes pain, but I'm just like, I can't deal with pain. And yet I don't feel a lot of the pain. It doesn't hurt that bad. Like, I hate needles and like getting shots, and I'm like, yeah, it's a little bruise, and I probably complain and make, like a mountain out of a molehill kind of a thing, when it really doesn't hurt that bad. I just like, it's just a little irritant to me, and I'm like, I don't like it. I make a big deal out of it when it's not that big of a deal, because it doesn't hurt that bad. So I'm learning. I don't have to complain about a lot of things. I don't have to be afraid of things. And maybe this is just a reminder that, yes, there's pain, lots of things in life that hurt, that I can't avoid all of that. But I've been blessed with an ability to deal with or handle pain very well, because it doesn't, maybe it doesn't hurt me as much as other people, or I can tolerate it, I guess, a little bit better in some cases. Not always. I know not always. I'm not saying it's, but I guess for me, I can celebrate that, because it's helped me throughout my life to deal with things, to do physical therapy, to tolerate stuff, to be able to move forward, especially, dealing with migraines. And I'm like, okay, I got to drive, I got to work, I got to do something, which may also be why my body thinks it has to go to the extreme to like knock me out, because I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to ignore it, which, to the extreme is probably not a good thing, but I can put off things if I need to, like my crown for, another month until I can afford to get it fixed, and protect it with my old retainers, even though it hurts my teeth a little bit, but it'll be okay. So I'm grateful for little things like that, because I know it'll be okay. I know I can deal with the pain, and it's really not as bad, as it could be, or maybe as it would be for someone else. I don't know. So I feel very blessed, and if nothing else, I'm just grateful that I could come up with something else to celebrate, even though I didn't feel like celebrating or doing anything today. So just grateful that God gave me something that I could celebrate and be grateful for. And that's all I have for today. So if you like these videos, you're going to hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have fun celebrating you, and have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe do some writing.